Oklahoma's long BCS losing streak ends at 5 Saturday night here in University of Phoenix Stadium. Barry Tramel along with Jake Trotter. Our Oklahoma football coverage, our bowl coverage, sponsored by Midfirst Bank. And tonight, Jake, Oklahoma routs UConn 48-20. The streak is over.
It didn't take very long to know that Oklahoma basically outclassed UConn in terms of the athleticism, the speed, the power. The Sooners did what we thought that they would do, and that was dominate. You look at Oklahoma's defense scoring 2 touchdowns to UConn's offense only scoring 2 field goals. That tells you all. And frankly, UConn was fortunate to only lose 48-20 with that kind of disparity.
You know, the Sooners dominated both sides of the ball. Huge night for Ryan Broyles. Big night for Cameron Kinney, and another 400-yard bowl passing game for Landry Jones. He's now got 2 bowl games, 2 400-yard passing games for Landry Jones.
And you have to be excited if you're a Sooner fan about Landry Jones going into next season because, yeah, he's had some up and down moments, but the last half of this year, he's been tremendous, and this was probably one of his best games as a Sooner, and that's 3 or 4 right in a row where he's been spectacular. So I think this offense has a chance to do some special things next year, especially if Ryan Broyles decides to come back. He said after the game he didn't know what he was going to do, but there's a decent chance he does return.
Well, not too many football games go exactly as scripted, but this one did. It was thought that the Oklahoma passing game would be too much for UConn, which does not see this kind of passing in the Big East. And we thought that Oklahoma's defense could slow down the UConn run game. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, you know, Jordan Todman got going a little bit in the second half, but by that point, UConn was already on its heels and having to come from behind. I thought the big key in this game is how UConn would establish the running game and whether they would be able to in the early going. And Oklahoma stuffed Todman in the early going. I think Todman had like 8 yards on 9 carries to start out, and by that point, UConn had to put the ball in the air. And you saw what happened when they have to do that a lot. Oklahoma returned 2 picks for touchdowns.
Connecticut also had 2 4th-and-1s. Oklahoma stuffed them both. Just a dominant performance by the Sooner defense. Jamel Fleming and Tony Jefferson returned interceptions for touchdown. Sooners get to 12-2, matching the second-best record of the Stoops era. A great liftoff into the 2011 season.
Yeah, and absolutely. And what I said before, too, I mean, this is a team that is a viable national championship contender next year. They have the veteran quarterback. They got all kinds of skill coming back. Kenny Stills, I think, has a chance to be a special receiver. And then Roy Finch is going to come back from the injury. And you look at the defense. Jamel Fleming made a big play. You saw Tony Jefferson pick one off for a touchdown. Those guys are coming back. So the core is going to be very strong next year. And I think it's going to be a fun team to watch.
Sooners victorious 48-20. They beat UConn, ending the BCS losing streak at 5 games. Stay tuned for further OU football coverage every day in the Oklahoman. And here on News OK, our bowl coverage has been sponsored by Midfirst Bank.